So today we will deal with low frequency response of CE amplifier, common emitter amplifier. Different types of configurations are CE, CB and CC in BJT. In that first one we will be dealing with CE amplifier, which is the most widely used one. Okay, common emitter amplifier is the most widely used amplifier because it has both voltage gain and current gain advantages. It can provide both voltage gain and current gain. But what is low frequency response and why we should study the low frequency response of this particular amplifier? Why is it important? So remember, whenever we come across the word frequency response, it means we have to study a particular characteristic of a particular device, like transistor. In this case, we are dealing with transistor, or in some cases, you can deal with some control system or anything, any other device. Okay, so for example, here I am dealing with a transistor, and in this transistor, a transistor can operate at wide range of frequencies when AC signal is given uh, to the transistor system, which is consisting of DC biasing. Nothing but whatever the AC signal that you are giving to this DC biased transistor, this DC biased transistor will try to amplify that signal at the output end. That's why it is called as an amplifier circuit. And it can only amplify only when the input side, which is nothing but the emitter, which is nothing but emitter base junction. Emitter base junction must be not input. In all cases you should not say input side. You can talk in terms of junctions. Okay, emitter base junction must be forward biased and the uh, collector base junction must be reverse biased. Okay, in that case, if you consider CE amplifier also, those two statements are true. Okay, with respect to that two statements, we should understand that emitter base junction must be forward biased and collector base junction must be reverse biased. And when you are operating the transistor in this mode, it will act as a it is said to act in active region. Active region, in active region it always operates like an amplifier. If you uh, do not make the emitter base junction forward bias or collector base junction reverse bias, it will never act like an amplifier. So first, coming to CE amplifier, why we have to study frequency response? Frequency response is nothing but you have to study the effects of, or you are studying the operation of amplifier with negligible effects due to other capacitors and internal capacitance present in the system itself. Nothing but the amplifier circuit. If there are other capacitors due to AC, if you want to control the AC signal, you have to use some coupling capacitors and bypass capacitors, and there is also some internal capacitance present in the system itself. So you have to uh, take all the effects of all these capacitances, and we should make sure that the effect of this capacitance is negligible. Under certain frequencies only the capacitance effect of these particular capacitors will be negligible, and if you go for other range of frequencies, that is if you go beyond the range of the frequency, this range of frequency, what happens is the capacitors will have a profound effect on the transistor circuit, amplifier circuit, and thereby it will have effect on the gain, voltage gain and current gain. It might reduce the current gain, or uh, it might reduce the voltage gain, which is not desirable because we want the gain to be at the highest value. You don't want it to reduce. Okay, but these capacitors have an ability to reduce that gain under certain frequencies. So you should know that what are those frequencies, we must know. Okay, and we should know that if you operate the transistor amplifier in these range of frequencies, it is not good for gain. Okay, so you should try to avoid those frequency ranges. Okay, so for example I will take here some transistor system whose characteristics are like this. Okay, frequency characteristics, as you can see here, at this particular frequency the output gain is very high at this particular frequency from FL to FH. Okay, at this point the gain is said to be maximum. And once the frequency goes below FL, what happens is the frequency below FL, the gain goes into lower values. Okay, the gain reduces dramatically, and here also the gain reduces dramatically. So beyond these two frequencies, FL and FH, it is not desirable. Okay, so this, the study of what is this FL is nothing but it is a low frequency, and HL is nothing but high frequency, right? Below low frequency, this is indicated as low frequency or low cutoff frequency. This is high cutoff frequency, this is low cutoff frequency. Beyond this, what happens is the gain will decrease dramatically at minus 3 dB gain. Okay, minus 3 dB gain. At that point, you are saying that the frequency as cutoff frequency. At minus 3 dB gain, the power will be almost half the maximum power. Here you will be getting some power, right? At this point in the middle F center, you will be getting some power value. Let us say that power value is P max, maximum power, right? But at FL, what happens is you will be getting P max by 2, half the maximum power. And below that, if you reduce, the power value will further reduce. We will be only dealing with the power ranges which are greater than half the maximum power. Only then the transistor will be useful for gain. Okay, for good gain purpose, we will be only dealing with the power gain range between half the power gain to maximum values. Okay, so this area only we will be using. This area will not be using because this is not desirable. You will not get enough power gain here, and voltage gain and current gain also will reduce dramatically. Okay, what is power gain? Power gain is nothing but the product of voltage gain and current gain, right? Here voltage and current gains are at maximum value. Here you will be getting maximum power gain here. But minus 3 dB is nothing but at this point what happens is the value of current gain and voltage gain will be about 1 by root 2 times the original maximum value. Okay, that means if the maximum value is, let us say, Vm, for voltage gain is Vm, Vm by root 2 will be the value at this point at FL. Okay, and current gain also Im by root 2. So when you multiply Vm by root 2 and Im by root 2, you will be getting Vm Im by 2, nothing but power gain. Power gain which is maximum, which is given as Vm Im. So power gain by 2 you will be getting. Okay, nothing but half the power gain you will be getting at this point. This is, here you will be getting Vm into Im at the mid range. Okay, but at this point at FL you will be getting Pm by 2, okay, which is half the power gain. And below that, if you reduce, if you operate the transistor below that frequency, what happens is the power will be dropping dramatically. The power gain will be dropping dramatically, and at the same time voltage and current gain values also will be very less, which is not desirable. Similarly, on this side, beyond the high frequency range, that is nothing but FH, what happens is the same thing happens here. Here also power gain will drop dramatically because current and voltage gain values are now lesser than 1 by root 2 times the maximum value. Okay, at this point the power is said to be even lesser than half the value of the maximum value. Okay, so that is very small power, which is not at all desirable for transistor amplification. Okay, so our goal is to operate the transistor in this range, only this range, FL to FH. And the study of the transistor characteristics below FL is called as low frequency response. Here whatever we will be studying below this, why we have to study this is because we should make sure that the transistor does not operate in this range. So we have to determine FL value. Okay, once we determine FL value, you know that you have to operate the transistor above FL value. And similarly, high frequency response will also be there, that we will be dealing later. Today we will be dealing with low frequency response. So as you can see here in this, at frequencies above and below the mid range, capacitance and any inductance will affect the gain of the amplifier. This we will see. Okay, and next, low frequency. At low frequencies, coupling and bypass capacitors lower the gain. okay, at low frequencies, that is in this point from here to here, 0 to FL. Okay, in that point, in that range, you will be having a you will be having lower gain. That is what I have told you. And at higher frequencies also you will be having the same problem. But here it is due to stray capacitance. Here the gain is affected because of coupling and bypass capacitors, but here it is mainly due to stray capacitances. And also cascading amplifiers limit the gain at high and low frequencies. That means if you are operating with multi-stage amplifiers, then you have to take this point under consideration. But in this unit you will be only dealing with single stage amplifiers. What is multi-stage amplifiers? Nothing but two amplifiers or two or more amplifiers connected in series. Okay, what happens is whenever a gain is given by the first system, that is taken as an input for the second system, and the second system will try to again improve that gain, further increase the gain. Okay, like that, so on, depending on the number of stages you will be getting more uh, gain at the end. Okay, but this gain is also affected by the capacitors present in that, bypass capacitors or coupling capacitors present in that system. So that is also affected at high and low frequencies. But here we will be dealing with only single stage amplifier. So that means only one system will be there. So the circuit will look like this for common emitter amplifier the common emitter amplifier circuit. This is the circuit. As you can see, this is the common emitter amplifier circuit. In this circuit, if you are considering low frequency response, see, this is nothing but the common emitter configuration, amplifier circuit configuration with voltage divider bias circuit, stabilization technique of voltage divider. This I explained in first unit. Okay, this circuit is that. This is nothing but having a DC biasing voltage, which is VCC. Okay, and before that you are having here a capacitor, which is a coupling capacitor, and this is nothing but source resistance and source voltage. This is nothing but AC side, AC signal side. This is AC signal. Similarly, here at this end you will be taking output. This is nothing but again a coupling capacitor at the output and the load, okay, at which you will be measuring output voltage. This is also an AC wave. The AC wave here, whatever the magnitude that is there, that will be magnified, or it is amplified at the output end by using the DC biasing present here. Okay, this DC biasing circuit will act like an amplifier which amplifies this signal to this wave. You can see that magnitude will be increasing. The magnitude of the input wave, whatever that is there here, that will be increased at the output end. Okay, and now there are two coupling capacitors in this circuit. One is CS and the other one is CC. This is input coupling capacitor, this is output coupling capacitor, and there is also one more capacitor which is used to reduce the large amount of current that is flowing. Uh, that is nothing but emitter current. Whatever the emitter current, if it is very large, it can reduce that current flow. And this is nothing but, this is also called as bypass capacitor. Okay, and due to these capacitors, sometimes the impedance that is present in this whole circuit will increase dramatically at certain frequencies. Okay, if you operate the whole system at certain frequency, what happens is you can get very good gain. But below the mid-range frequency, if you operate, what happens is, that is nothing but low frequency. What happens is the effect due to these capacitances, these three capacitances will increase dramatically, and due to that the impedance in the circuit will increase, which will lower the gain of the circuit. At the end you will be getting the output gain very less. So this is determined, the low cutoff frequency is determined for coupling capacitor CS. If you are only considering the coupling capacitor effect, input capacitor coupling capacitor effect, then the cutoff frequency can be calculated by this equation. FL S is equal to 1 by 2 pi into Rs plus Ri into Cs. In this case, you have to always remember Ri is nothing but here Zi, input resistance that is observed from the amplifier circuit end, okay, from the input of the amplifier circuit, nothing but Zi. From here you have to observe, not from here, okay, from here. In some textbooks it is given as simply Ri, but in most of the textbooks it is Zi. Here also you can write Zi, unless until you are not considering the effect of C. If you consider the effect of CE, then you have to write here Zi. But if you are ignoring the effect of CE, then the whole resistance observed from the input end of the amplifier will be only Ri only. So that is why you will be getting Ri only here. Here you are not considering the effect of C, but in the next case you will be considering the effect of CE also. Here you are only considering the effect of CS only, which is nothing but coupling capacitor at the input end or source coupling capacitor. 1 by 2 pi into Rs plus Ri into Cs. This is the value. Okay, in this way you have to calculate the value of uh, lower cutoff frequency in this particular graph, this one. Here only the coupling capacitor input source coupling capacitor effect is only considered. With respect to that only you are considering the FL value. That is why he has represented it as FLS. And here remember Ri is nothing but this is voltage divider circuit. In voltage divider circuit I told you how to calculate Ri using Thevenin's theorem. Okay, go to the video where I explained about voltage divider bias in stabilization techniques of BJT. In that I explained to convert these two resistors into single resistance, which is Ri, using Thevenin's theorem, and that formula is given by this one. Ri is equal to R1 in parallel with R2 in parallel with beta Re. Okay, remember that. Here this Re is actually capital Re, this one. Okay, not small Re, this is capital Re. Next one, if you are finding out the cutoff frequency due to CC and only you are considering the effect of output coupling capacitor, then the formula will be like this. Now you have to observe the circuit from the output end. When you observe the circuit from the output end, that is nothing but from here, like this. If you observe here, the output end, whatever the resistance that you get, that is nothing but R0. Okay, and you can also find out RL value here, which is present at the load. So the formula will be this one. FLC is equal to 1 by 2 pi into R0 plus RL into CC. Okay, this is the cutoff frequency with only one capacitor, which is coupling capacitor. You are only considering its effect only. You are not considering any other capacitor's effect, not due to this capacitor or this capacitor. You are only considering the effect of due to this capacitor. And when you are considering the effect of only CC, the FLC value will be getting this one. The lower cutoff frequency value you will be getting this one. And similarly, there will be one more capacitor which is called as bypass capacitor. That is nothing but CE. And with respect to CE, if you calculate, you will be getting this value. These are nothing but empirical formulas. Okay, there are three formulas, for one for this one for this one for this one. Okay, for this one it is nothing but FLE. FLE is nothing but 1 by 2 pi RE into CE. So these three values you will be calculating. Once you calculate all these three values, then you have to draw the graph, amplifier low frequency response graph. And once you draw the graph, as you can see here, in the low frequency end below 3 dB, that is this is the gain at which the power value will be half the original value, nothing but the maximum value that you get at the mid band range. Okay, so beyond this if you go, the power gain will reduce dramatically. Okay, and also voltage and current gain values also will reduce dramatically. Here he has considered only voltage gain values. As you can see, this value is going further down. Okay, at this point it is maximum, but here it is very low value. Okay, it is not desirable to operate in this range till this point, FLE. This FLE is determined by considering these three capacitances low frequency effect, that is FLS, FLC and FLE, uh, whichever is the highest frequency value among these three. Here FLS, FLC and FLE are there. Three frequency values are there. In those three frequency values, whichever frequency value you are getting highest value, that value must be indicated as FL value, final FL value, low cutoff frequency value. Okay, see here FLS, FLC and FLE. Among these three, FLE is the highest, so that is why he has considered that as cutoff frequency range. Beyond that you should not operate. Beyond that means the lower than that frequency you should not operate the transistor. You should not operate transistor for amplification process. You should always operate above the frequency cutoff. Okay, low frequency cutoff. Next one, the role of gain in the Bode plot. As you can see, this is nothing but frequency response plot. In this frequency response plot, the amount of attenuation, with respect to frequency, as you can see here, it is very steep. This is called as roll off. This condition, the amount of attenuation or loss of gain is called as roll off. Okay, remember these points, these are very important. One is roll off, the other one is coupling capacitor. Three different capacitors which are used to determine three different cutoff frequencies. One is coupling capacitor CS, the other one is coupling capacitor CC, which is at the output, and there is also another capacitor which is the bypass capacitor, which is CE. So due to those three capacitors you will be getting three different lower cutoff frequencies. In those three, whichever value you will be getting as the highest, that value you must be considering as the lower cutoff frequency for the operation of transistor amplifier. And here FL, among these three, the FL value chosen for transistor operation will be this one, FLE. That is why he has written here F1. Okay, small f1, this is nothing but lower cutoff frequency, and there will be one more frequency at which we should not operate beyond that, that is called as f2 or fh, which is also known as higher cutoff frequency. That is in the case of high frequency response, that we will be discussing later. Okay, so with this the low frequency response of the CE amplifier is over. Always remember, the effect of these three capacitors is negligible in mid range. That means here in this case, when you are going in the mid range, that is FL to FH, this is called as mid range of frequencies. In these frequencies, the effect of those three capacitors will be very small. That is, they offer very little impedance to the transistor amplifier circuit, thereby they will not affect any effect, they will not have any effect on gain, that is they will not reduce the gain. But in this case, if you operate below the frequency of FL, or if you operate the transistor amplifier above the frequency of FH, then the capacitances will increase. Especially if you are going for a low frequency response, these capacitance value will increase dramatically, because what is capacitance if you are writing reactance of capacitance, Xc is equal to 1 by 2 pi Fc, right? So if you are taking low frequency here, if you are considering low frequency here, what happens? This value will be small. When this value will be small, what will be Xc value? Xc value will increase. That means the reactance value of these particular capacitors will be high. Whenever reactance is maximum, what happens? When the reactance increases, the impedance also increases. When impedance increases, what happens? The gain will reduce, because now the circuit is offering more resistance or impedance to the transistor amplifier, which will reduce the power. And voltage and current gain signals also will reduce, which is not desirable for amplification. Okay, that is the reason we should not go for a very low frequency. We should know at which frequency the power gain will be very low. Okay, and those points are taken below half the power gain, half the maximum power gain. That value is taken as the lowest cutoff frequency. Okay, beyond that you should not operate. If you operate, you will not get enough amplification, which is not at all desirable for amplifier circuit. Okay, so remember, at this point, the power gain will be half the maximum power gain value at minus 3 dB, and here also. Okay, FL and FH, two frequencies, minus 3 dB indicates half the power gain values. Okay, in the next class I will discuss the low frequency response of other amplifiers, which are nothing but CB and CC. Okay.